All right, so from A to C, it ends up being, if you start at A and go to C, you end up with -7 over -8, right? But then what happens when I have two negatives? They cancel. Did I get the fraction backwards? Is it 8/7 or 7/8? 7/8? Okay. The height, no, because 13 minus 6 is 7. The height one should have been 7.
For which one?
From A to C.
Oh.
Maybe you went all the way to F maybe on accident?
Oh, that's what I did.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay, then from B to E is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So -8 over 7. Good? Any questions? Okay, anyone see something weird on this last one? It was like 4 over 0. What happens when I have 0 on the bottom of a fraction? Is that okay? What do you guys think? What's my calculator going to tell me?
Do you just do 0?
Error. Mayday. I can't divide by 0, right? That's one of our math errors. Is that familiar? If it was 0, where would the 0 have been?
On the same spot.
Try again.
Would it just be on the same spot as the original point? Like 2?
Oh, yeah, that's one way it could be if the thing was on the same spot as the original point. But what would the fraction have to look like? Wait, 0 over a number. So like if the top was 0, then it would have been 0. I can have 0 in the numerator, but I can't in the denominator.
So it's just undefined.
Yeah, good memory. Undefined. That's not allowed, so we call it undefined. Okay, I'm going to say this phrase, and it probably, hopefully, will jog your memory. But the slope of vertical lines is undefined. What type of lines have a slope of 0? Flat, horizontal. Vertical, undefined. Flat, horizontal, 0. Is that familiar? Okay, good. Questions before we go to the next part of our linear graphing review? Again, this whole unit and next unit, we'll be doing a ton of graphing of our quadratics. That's our x squared. And so today we're just reviewing graphing of linears just to help us get started, okay? Okay, if I say y equals mx plus b right here, you guys heard that before? Yeah, right? Which letter in that is my slope that I just reviewed? M, good. M is my slope. Anybody remember what the B represents?
That's where you start.
Good, it's our starting point. So you always start at 0B. Anybody remember the vocab word for that point? The B? Y-intercept. Good, Cheyenne. Y-intercept. So when we plotted points up on the first part of this page, we always started at 0, 0. But when I'm graphing a line, I start at my y-intercept. It's my starting point. How many points do I need in order to draw a straight line? If I want to be able to I can use my ruler. How many points minimum do I have to draw a straight line? 2 points. Good. So my starting point is my 0B. That's 1 point, and then I use my slope to find my other point. Okay? So let's start on number 6. Okay? This right here, the -3 is my B. So I know I start my line at 0, -3. So I start at 0, -3. Okay. Then 1 over 5 represents my rise over my run. So I'm going to start at my 0, -3, and I'm going to go up 1 and over 5 before I plot my next point. Man. My rule is if I draw my line in the wrong spot, I just make my dots bigger. Now it's perfect. Should we do one more together? Yeah, I'm going to do one more together. Okay, so let's start at my y-intercept. So that's 0, 3. That's my starting point. Is that starting point always going to be on the y-axis? What do you think? Is the starting point always going to be on the y-axis? Well, if it was a fraction, then maybe it's like 1.5. It goes here. Because the b is the y-intercept, and by definition, the y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis, then yep, my starting point's always going to be on the y. Oh, I kind of just lied to you guys a little bit. There's one exception, but we'll talk about it on the next page. 99.9% of the time. There's a negative on this one. Do I give it to the 1, the 2, or both?
Both.
Careful. If I give it to both, then 2 negatives cancel, and it's not a negative fraction anymore. So you just want to give it to the top. It's like I'm just moving it to the top. So then I'd go down 1 over 2. And connect them.
If the starting point's close to the top of the graph and you can't go anywhere, don't you just make them both negative?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. You doing okay? Any questions so far? Okay, let's go to number 8. Number 8 looks different because I only have one number. Is that 2, the x? Sorry, is that 2, the m, or the b? Why? Perfect. That is the b because there's no x by it. So if it helps, imagine it like this. So what is the slope on that one? 0. Okay. Which means I know that it's going to be, we just talked about this. What type of a line is it going to be if my slope is 0? Starts with an H. Horizontal. Good. So I start at 0, 2. And I go, it's just a horizontal line because my slope is 0. Morning. Come grab a blue paper over here. We're reviewing graphing lines. I want you guys to try 9 and 10 with your groups, and then I'm going to help you guys with number 11. They're right over here, the blue one. Okay? Try 9 and 10.